Okay, take two. Always check your focus. Oh, 10 minutes down the drain. Anyway, right, okay, this is going to be a channel update. Today is the 27th of October. Definitely focus. 27th of October, 2024. Where have we been and what's been going on? So, it's been a bit of a funny old summer for various reasons, professionally and personally. And I suppose we'll start off with saying why there's not been so much content on the channel. First and foremost, thanks so much to all of the new subscribers. There's not been a lot, but the fact that people are still finding the channel, subscribing, hopefully watching the old content, which I hope is still relevant. There's a comment came in on one of the videos. Oh, which one was it? I can't remember now. And basically, I've got like a picture-in-picture of me doing exercises behind, and I'm obviously talking about the exercises. And the comment says that's really distracting having you playing in the background. And I think at that time I was actually talking about the content that I was playing over my left shoulder. And I think I get the point. I do get the point. I was really probably just trying to find a different way to condense my time, my effort, etc. I don't know, but all comments are relative. Are relative, yeah, and relevant. And as long as they are constructive, I don't mind if they're negative or positive. That's great. I mean, I'm not a guru by any means whatsoever. I'm not even a great YouTuber or anything like that. It's really just all the way back at the beginning of the channel. It's about me putting content up, thoughts about trumpet playing to try and help other people out there and the trumpet community, etc. Just to move on and try and progress as trumpet players, be you a professional musician, a hobbyist, comeback player, whatever you want to think. So that's what it's all about, and it always will be about that. So back to the posts and why there hasn't been much content. I'm now teaching 3 days a week, one with what we call local authority, so council or local government, depending on how that relates to yourself, and two with the private school. I also teach privately my own students in the evening and Mondays, Tuesdays with a community group, and Wednesdays my own students as well. That gives me Thursday evenings, Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays free, which sounds like a lot, but believe me, if you're driving all over the UK, as small as it is, for gigs here, there and everywhere, sometimes the time just disappears, and you've still got a family and everything else. So that pretty much means that I've actually been struggling for time to practice. Come into the studio, work on projects, share musical ideas. It's been about maintenance, keep the chops going, etc. So on the subject, in fact, of practice and maintenance, some of you remember that towards the beginning of this year, I was still getting lessons with Mr. Gerard Presenter. Highly recommend him, by the way. But I had to stop just because there wasn't enough time. Not time for the lessons, but actually time to put into practice what Gerard was teaching me. And that meant that it's not that the lessons were going to waste, but I felt it hard to progress on the information that was given. I'm still working through the notepad, or working along with the notepad of months of lessons that we took together. But one of the things that he did tell me about, because of similarities and some of the things that he was showing me, was a book called, it's over there, I'm going to keep forgetting the name, Modern Flexibilities for Brass by Scott Belk. Now, I know some of you will have heard this before. So this will probably be the subject of my next video. So why that book? Well, one of the nice things that Gerard was going through with me, and this is also in Scott, similar stuff is in Scott's book. Now, it doesn't mean to say that either one of these guys have this exclusive idea. They've just put together concepts and ideas around this concept of modern flexibilities and where they come from. And if anyone is familiar with one of my other favourite studies called Flexus, the flexibilities exercises where you're moving through non-standard intervals and standard intervals, etc., fourths and tritones and fifths and everything else, etc. But you're moving through the valve block as opposed to just doing a lip flexibility. So it's almost like a crossover between interval and flexibilities work. Then that's where this is. So again, why that book? Well, there doesn't appear to be a lot of commentary on modern flexibilities for brass by Scott Belk on the internet. There are comments in all the usual places, like on Trumpet Herald and the usual Facebook forums, etc., about how, you know, people raving over it and stuff, etc., or raving about it. But I couldn't see anyone actually going through it and working on it. And I reached out to Scott very, very briefly when I got the book and saying, this is absolutely fantastic, blah, blah, blah. And he came back and said, yeah, that's great, thanks. So maybe try and get his input on some of this stuff as well. I think that'd be quite a nice thing to share, like straight from the horse's mouth. But very briefly, the types of things, I'll just keep this microphone on, the types of things that Scott's book and Gerard's concept to a certain degree look at are these quite fast flexibilities, but in quite a restrictive range of the instrument. Now, Scott's book does go up to, I think it goes up to C's, maybe up to D's as well, but it's not about playing up there. It's not like the Collins exercises or any of these advanced slip flexibility type exercises that take you into the ledger lines. That's not what it's about. It's about the connection of the fine muscle movements, the tongue control, the air control, all that type of thing, so that we can play really, I suppose, as efficiently as possible. So the type of thing we're looking at, so if we play like some standard basic flexibilities. Maybe I will turn the other microphone on since I'm pointing right at it. Bear with me. So that type of thing is like the usual blah 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 flexibility, etc. When you introduce the use of the valve block, etc., and we pick the speed up, etc., we're mixing through intervals and flexibilities, then all of a sudden it's like it's less of a static exercise, which sounds contradictory when we're talking about flexibilities, but we're manipulating our way through the instrument with our valves as well. So that's a very bad example about what the book's like, but instead of just like having static valves and then moving to the next valve, etc., the next pipe essentially, then we learn to explore our intervals and flexibilities, and you get this great feeling of like the instrument just like sitting and floating in front of your face, which is really, really nice, because I'm still quite sensitive about my teeth. The gum area above my teeth, is the nerves are still sorting themselves out, I think, etc. So having the ability to move freely around the instrument and have the feeling as well that the instrument is just sitting on the front of my face is really, really, really nice. What it's forcing me to do is really pay attention to my tongue arch control and my support from my core area and my corners, etc., and being really focused on being able to hear the pitch I'm going to. So that's all stuff that I'm hoping to put into my next lesson. No, it's not a lesson. Into my next video for all you folks out there. And that's it. I mean, gig wise, Mama Terra's been quite busy. We had a great summer with some festivals and everything. The first 3 weeks of the summer, which our summer for the schools pretty much runs from the end of July through to mid-July. First 3 weeks, weather was horrendous in Scotland, and there were loads of working gigs anyway. It's fine. Mama Terra has actually got some new content coming out. Working with the Federation of the Disco Pimp, we have got a new album coming out there as well. And you know, the rest of the stuff is like I was saying about not getting a lot of time to do practice. Really trying to focus on practice so that I can start taking more gigs around the country, etc. Which I am doing and I have been doing, but making sure that it's like if the phone goes or a message comes in saying, can you do such and such lead trumpet, 3-hour drive away, blah, 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 tomorrow night. It's like, yeah, of course I can do that. That's my bag, you know? Go and do that. So yeah, that's, again, comes back down to why it's been really, really hard to get content out on the channel. So I feel as though I'm starting to go around in circles now. That's pretty much it. There has been a lot going on, and hopefully I will be turning out a little bit more content, not just channel updates again. There's a video coming out regarding a certain Shilky B7 that I've just bought. It's kind of a catch and release instrument. I am not going to be hanging on to it. I'll not go into that too much because it's got its own video. And really that's it. Yeah, we'll get into instruments and stuff in a different video. And as always, stay safe, stay smart. Don't forget to practice, and we'll see you back here soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.